Welcome to Shur Voice and another YouTube video on different aspects of the art of singing, which is an art that used to take a good amount of study, a serious amount of study, 8 years to be exact, or more. And basically, actually, it's a lifetime of study if you want to really be a singing artist. Now, I want to talk to you today about the importance of knowing what kind of voice do you have. Are you a soprano? Are you a baritone? Are you a tenor? Are you an alto? Are you a mezzo-soprano? Are you a high baritone? Are you a dramatic baritone? Are you a bass? Are you a lighter bass? Are you a dramatic bass? Even if you're not singing opera, you do need to know these things. Sadly and tragically, in my own life, I've experienced people who are trying to push their, let's say, beautiful baritone voice or their beautiful alto voice to become a dramatic soprano. And in the struggle and in the doing of trying to push their voice higher than their voice is meant to be, and to sing higher in general than their voice is meant to be, they've lost out on a career. So for that, you should not just make up your mind that you know what you are. I mean, it's usually quite obvious if you're a soprano or if you're a baritone or an alto, but sometimes it's not obvious. All right. So then you need to go to a teacher and get it checked out. So I've had a number of students in the past who've come to me and they want to sing in for example, they're baritones. Most men, the most common voice for a man is to be a baritone. Most common voice for a woman is to be a soprano. That's just the way it is. It's the way naturally voices are. And if you are a baritone and you want to be a rock star or a pop star, well, you're going to try to push your voice up to be like a tenor, because that's what was in the voice that was in the last 30, 40 years has been to be a tenor, a light tenor, and sing in falsetto all the time. Well, you know, David Bowie wasn't a tenor, but he became a big superstar, and there are other people who became a superstar who were baritones. So check it out. So just remember, if you are, let's say you're a cello, you're a cellist, right? And you come to a violin teacher and you say, I want to sound like a violin. The violin teacher is going to look at you and say, you're crazy. You have a cello. The cello sounds the way a cello sounds. If you want to play on your cello in the key that fits the cello, some sonatas or some melodies that were written for violin, you can certainly do that if you wish. And plenty of people have done that. A flute player may play something that was written for violin for the flute on his instrument or her instrument. A cellist may be playing something that was written for violin on their instrument, but they're not going to try to be a violin. Does it make any sense, right? So please sing with the voice that you have, and don't waste your years trying to push your voice up and sing high and sing high, 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 high. Singing isn't about high notes. High notes are all a perception. A flat to A flat. Yeah, 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 yeah. Most songs today in the pop world, in the musical world, are of one octave, and they're mainly in the low and middle voice. And if you go up to a C, oh my God, it sounds like a high note. Ah! Whereas for an opera singer, that's just the end of the middle voice. Yes! It's just a C, it's not a big deal. But if you're singing, I love you, baby, in contrast, that high note sounds high. So let's get real about high notes, and please don't blow your voice out, especially if you don't even know how to do the high notes that are in your actual voice properly. So that is my little lecture today, and I can go into it more. But I got all dressed up just to talk to you all about knowing what kind of voice you have. And I'm not going to go into what is a baritone, what is a soprano, what are the ranges, because that is really beginner stuff. Please look it up. I'm talking about something bigger than that. I'm talking about knowing and having worked with singers who had beautiful voices. Someone I know very close in a long time ago in our family had a magnificent baritone voice. His baritone was a light baritone. It wasn't a dramatic baritone, and had a beautiful metallic, bright sound to it. And because of that, he thought, well, now I'm going to sing the held in tenor parts of Wagner, sing all these, because Wagner's operas demand strong baritonal style singing occasionally from the tenor. It demands a very large, dramatic voices. And you see, he was not happy playing comic roles. He wanted to be heroic and grand. Well, I'm sorry, that's not what God gave you. You can sing heroic and grand art songs from Schubert and Brahms and Schumann and Fauré and all those magnificent art songs, of which, by the way, if you want to go look at me rehearsing 3 years ago, I sang a whole bunch of art songs. I only sang one aria at the end of that rehearsal, which was Carmen's Habanera, right? So if you have a bright, we should have a brighter timbre. We shouldn't overly darken the voice anyway. If your voice is dark and has a dark, sort of a dark sound like that, don't over darken it. Find the bright moments. And if your voice is super bright, very bright voice, you might need to darken it a little bit. All these are concepts, bright and dark, forward and back. All these things are concepts that we have to really understand. And they're not going to be covered in a simple little tutorial like this. Is not even a tutorial, a simple little rant here about singing with the voice God gave you. So please write me your comments, and I will talk soon with you all again. I'm feeling better every week, getting my strength back, and looking forward to doing some more in-depth talking, which I think I may put up soon, about the healing frequencies of our voice and how every note and every vowel that we create can create a healing frequency that we as singers are actually creating within our body and recreating every time we sing. And that'll be the subject of my next little chat. surevoice.com. Check out my offerings there. And if you want to study with me or work with me via Zoom or in person, I do offer a free consultation to see if we're a good fit. And you can text me. My phone number is on my website, and we can take it from there. Have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you soon.